from manufacturing industrial to neighborhood commercial for properties located at 1070, 1116, and 1132 Upper Lenox Avenue. So I would ask if a resolution to open that public hearing could be offered.
So moved.
Second.
Any comment or question? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. And the public hearing regarding that zone change is hereby called to order. Does anybody want to comment on that? Yes, sir. Could I have your name and address, please?
Yeah, my name is Paul Karpinski, and I live on Middle Road, just outside the city, on the way to Stockbridge. I'm the owner of one of the properties, and I'm here because I didn't request a zone change. I bought the property because it was zoned the way it is. I had uses for it, I had plans for it, and that's why I'm here.
Which property?
1132, the one that would be toward Walmart with Lombardi in the middle and the insurance company on the other side of Lombardi.
And Mr. Kopinski, you do not want that zoning change?
That's correct.
Did you happen to discuss with Cassie at all?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Can you speak to your reasons for not wanting to change?
Well, I hinted at it. I bought the property because it was manufacturing and industrial, and I used it for those purposes through most of the time I had it. It also had a two-family house that was on it and was grandfathered in. The mortgage is nearly paid on that. I refinanced it, otherwise it would have been paid. I have retirement coming up, and I would like to do things with it that require me to make things and sell them. And another option I have is, that I noticed is appliance repair and small engine repair. And I used to do appliance repair, and that would be another option that I would not be able to use in my retirement. When I first was living there, I made several items for sale, and I would not like to make the same items, but I would like to make items for sale.
Property and the, I think it's the Tanner Insurance Company, were they grandfathered in? That's what they are right now?
I don't know, and I asked Cassie Rose to respond.
Yes, they are. They were grandfathered in with the last zoning change.
Okay, so could you explain to me why then they want this change?
The chiropractic office would like to rent out part of its space to another use. It would not be allowed now because it's manufacturing industrial. If it's rezoned to neighborhood commercial, which is adjacent to that, then that use would be allowed. So the two properties, the Tanner property and the Lombardi property, would like to have their properties rezoned to neighborhood commercial. And that went from the Common Council to the Planning Commission for their recommendation. The Planning Commission looked at it, agreed that that was a reasonable request, but then also said that if we included Mr. Karpinski's property, that would smooth out the zone boundary, and it did seem to make sense. It did give a lot of other uses then that would be allowed on all three properties. However, Mr. Karpinski's right in that some of the uses that he would look at would be allowed in manufacturing industrial the way it is now, but would not be allowed if it was rezoned to commercial. So the Planning Commission looked just at the boundary line and what made sense to them. Mr. Karpinski does have a good point, though, however, for his property.
If we do make this change, Cassie, isn't this spot zoning?
No, because
If we make the change, it's not?
No, because you're changing the properties to a zone that's adjacent to them. So you're just changing that zone boundary is all.
However, if we leave Mr.
Karpinski.
Karpinski's property the way it is and change the other two,
It would be.
That would not be spot zoning because just adjacent to his property to the north is manufacturing industrial. So it would still be
Just take that
in with that group, so it would be fine.
Why don't you just delete 1132? Seems to be appropriate. Just change the 2 and just leave 1132.
Well, this is a public hearing to get comment. This is not the final, this is not the final action that would be taken. So we can, I mean, I've made notes of this, Mr. Karpinski's comment, so, and Cassie's aware of it, we're all aware of it, so when time comes to finalize the language, we'll make a decision at that point. I have one item of old business. Does any member of the council have any items of old business they wish to bring back before the council? Do any members of the audience have any old business that they wish to bring before the council? My item of old business has to do with the council and the city recognizing the Oneida High School football team of 2008. And it was announced yesterday that the school district will sponsor a reception on Monday, a week from last night, at the Costello building. And I had spoken with the superintendent about trying to coordinate some type of a recognition from the city with what the school board was going to do. And they have they give us an opportunity to present a proclamation. And I'm going to have copies of the proclamation for each of the members of the team members and the coaches. And I'll go on Monday. It's scheduled to start at 7 o'clock. And I would invite any member of the council who wants to go. I think it would be a good, it should be a nice time. Okay, I have one item of new business that I'm going to ask the council to consider taking into account during an executive session, and that has to do with collective bargaining negotiations with our police department and officers who are represented by the Oneida Police Benevolent Association. And I would ask that the council consider going into executive session for that discussion, and that we invite Peg Margot and Doug Lippert to participate in that, and we would dispense with the other department heads at this point. I'm sorry, I think I would ask that Joan stay because there are financial considerations.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Any comment or question as to the purpose? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Any abstentions? We're going to go into executive session. We've invited 3 department heads to stay with us. So we'll take a brief recess to allow the audience to work their way out.